Approach the beast. Hello! Look what I've bought. A CRF 250L, and I've just fitted that bash plate, which was a pain because it has a Yoshimura exhaust, and that meant that the bash plate wouldn't fit, and it meant the exhaust had to come off, and then a bit of hammering and bashing to change the shape of the bash plate slightly, but it's all back together and it all works and hunky-dory. This task has been carried out laying on my back in soaking wet mud, and it's just horrible. It's Easter Saturday and yeah, we've got Atlantic storms rolling in. It's wet, it's windy, but I only got this bike yesterday and I ain't ridden it yet, so poop to the weather, we're going all for a jolly jaunt. In any case, it's a dirt bike, so let's get dirty. Right, well, there's no point pretending that I'm going to be able to give you a live commentary because it was so wet I had to hide my camera in its waterproof housing and not have a microphone and so forth, so I'm afraid you have to put up with a post-ride narration. But basically the feel was, oh, I'm 17 again. It was just great fun and really wobbly because its tyres come from somewhere where I don't think they know how to make tyres. But you know, it's all built down to a price and they are spectacularly cheap for what you get. But I think the tyres are going to have to be changed for something a bit, probably a bit worse on tarmac, but better for the dirt, because the knobbles are pretty close together on these things and they're kind of neither fish nor fowl. They're useless off-road, I suspect. I don't know, I haven't tried it yet, and they're certainly very wonky for on-road in these conditions, but maybe you could say most things would be. But it's a lovely feel though, it's easy to use, it's tractable, it pulls nicely in any gear. It wouldn't pull the skin off a rice pudding, it feels like on tarmac, but I bet it's going to feel just terrific when I get it off-road. Right, on we go. A bit of altitude here, and believe me, this thing is affected by the wind. It's a proper job. It's so light, which will obviously be to the good, but yeah. So we'll dive down into the valley. We'll be soon out of the wind before we start climbing back out of it again, and we can go and find this byway open to all the traffic, a boat. And the one we're going on, which is the one I attempted on the GS a week ago, it's broken tarmac, so it's not a muddy one, which on a day like this I wouldn't want to ride, because there's lots of other people, walkists, horsists, etc., who, you know, they could do without me chewing up their trail. But why is this woman not sharing the road? Get over, God, teeth. Maybe she heard about the political situation in the West Bank and decided to give it a wide berth. Down into the valley we go, a little bit out of the wind for a moment, and continue to peer through raindrops and see how this thing goes when I can find my boat. Okay, so it's along here somewhere, and oh shit, here it is, right. Okay, so we'll just paddle up here a little bit and sort the camera out for the standing position. Look at that tank filler cap, it's weird, isn't it? What's with the crow? Strange. Okay, now immediately this is more like it. This is what this bike's all about. Straight away it feels more at home. My dirt credentials to date are confined to the hauling of various GS's in Morocco and Spain, and occasional fire trucks in the UK, and other than that, a bit of trials and a bit of grass track 45 years ago on machines that weighed more or less the same as houses. So whilst I've been told that I'll quickly tire of this thing and that it's you know, suspension will be too rubbish and I need a KTM EXC 250F or more. Quite honestly, I think this is going to be just great. And I particularly like the 8,000 mile service intervals rather than having to attend to it in a time period measured by hours rather than miles, like with enduro bikes these days. Now this might seem something of a peculiar observation, but you can blat along a German autobahn on your GS at 3-figure speeds and feel pretty much invincible, whereas on this thing you get the sense that, probably because it weighs next to nothing, if you were to fall off at the 19 mph or whatever it is you're doing, you're really going to bloody hurt yourself big style, whereas on the GS you don't only feel like you're pretty much invincible, but also that you could probably take Europe over without too much difficulty. So, very different kind of angle, different perception this thing gives you, and probably relatively safer. But what I really like about this bike is it's just like me. It's simple. It takes me back. It takes me right back to when I was a 14-year-old riding single pot British bikes on the dirt. When they went wrong, and they did, you could fix them, you could understand them. I don't know, just lovely. I really, really like it. And I know I said it was built down to a price, but it still has that quality Honda feel that makes you think, well, it's not going to go wrong. Not included in its capacity to deliver the elixir of eternal youth is anything that stops you from being risk averse. It's something that comes with age. I think it's a chemical thing.
What do I know? I just read it someplace.
Given how I rode as a youth, a bit of risk aversion is probably no bad thing. Well, this is pretty much, although it's not the end of the boat, it's pretty much the end of the off-road section. As you can see, this is more or less what you would get on your standard English trunk road these days. Austerity holes. And so to the next boat, and this is one I've never found before until looking at the map today, so see how this goes. Oh, good job I'm on a boat. Oh, 22 Paris-Dakar, here we come. Yeah, I know, underwhelming for you enduro riders and motocrossers and rally raiders, but for me, right here, right now, 20 mile an hour feels plenty fast enough, and it shouldn't piss anybody off who's sharing this byway with me. Not that anybody will be sharing it today. I should think even the farmers have got the sense to stop indoors in this weather. Now, bimbling along on a simple, frugal, little bike that weighs 100 kilograms less than my GS and makes me feel like I'm 17. Well, what's not to like? Maybe the time will come where it's not enough, or the crashy old suspension is a bit basic and all the rest of it, and I want something a bit more fruity, but right now, this will definitely do. This route may be less challenging, but it's very beginner friendly, and it's very first time out on the new bike friendly, and so good for it. And what a great little bike! Thoroughly recommend one to anybody that wants to be recommended things or to have a recommendation. So I've